Hey everyone, my name's Devin. I'm a fourth year medical student at Imperial College London. Welcome to my channel. I make videos about student lifestyle, medicine and tech. And more recently, I seem to have been employed by Imperial, but I promise I only do it for the views. And so if any of that sounds interesting to you, then make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. Because you guys enjoyed my video about Byte and my complete Imperial Halls guide video, I thought it'd be a really good idea if I talk about some of the reasons why you may or may not want to live at Woodward. So this is what this video is going to be about. And after speaking to my boy Boris on the phone, he managed to hook us up with a room and kitchen tour of Woodward, so make sure you stick right until the end of the video if you guys want to see that. So the layout of the video will be as follows. First I'll do a brief overview, then I'll hop onto the pros, then the cons, then my opinion on whether you should live there, then a room tour, and then finally we'll end it on the kitchen tour. If you guys want some real experiences of what it was like to live in these halls, then make sure you check out my complete Imperial Halls guide video, which I will link over there and also in the description down below. As always, timestamps in the description down below and chapters on the video so you can jump along to whatever part concerns you. Although in this case, I would recommend that you actually watch the entire video the whole way through. And so with that said, let's jump straight into the video. So Woodward is one of the two accommodation halls located in North Acton, with the other one being Kent Porter. Woodward houses about 600 freshers this year and is one of the cheapest accommodation halls that Imperial has to offer. I did go into more depth about this in my complete Imperial Halls guide video, so make sure you check that out if you want more specifics and more factual information. So moving on to the pros. So Woodward has a very large intake of freshers, as I mentioned in the overview. It can house about 600 freshers, and that's more than double what Byte, Eastside or Southside have to offer. And if you combine that with Kent Porter, which also has about 600, you end up with 1.2k students, which is a huge number. And there are loads of people there that you can interact with, loads of places that you can go, and you tend to form a tighter connection with these people because you can travel into university together, whereas somewhere like Byte, you would just sort of wake up and then cartwheel into lectures. It just wasn't the same. So the Woodward common room is really nice. There's so many seating areas, they call it pod style or something. It's really cool and you can sit down and chill with your mates. And if you're into table football, table tennis or pool, like I am, then you're in luck because Woodward has all three of these. And there's even a large flat screen TV, so if you want to bang on Devify with the boys, I ain't gonna judge. So right next door there's a really affordable gym called iGym, and this is one of Imperial's own gyms, and they offer prices of £40 for the entire year. You heard me right, £40 for the entire year, whereas non-Imperial students have to pay £30 for a month. And if you're into lifting those bells, you're in for a juicy treat. In my Imperial Halls guide video, I included a picture of supposedly iGym, but I realised that that's actually not iGym, so I apologise for that. And if my editor allows for it, I will try and include a 360-degree tour of what it looks like right now. The next big pro that you probably saw coming is the affordability. Woodward tends to be a lot more cheaper than the halls located in Paddington or South Kensington, like a whole lot more cheaper. I did go into this again on my video about complete Imperial Halls guide video. Sorry to plug it again, but I will put that in the description down below. Make sure you check the exact pricing for the prices this year because they happen to have changed quite a lot because of COVID-19. It tends to have made quite a big difference. And speaking of that video, the support you guys are giving me on that is absolutely phenomenal. We only have about 900 views, but it has 117 likes as of making this video right now. So I want to see if you guys can beat that video. So make sure you like and comment down below that you're enjoying the video. And from speaking to some of my friends, one of the biggest sells about going to Woodward was the fact that they had these weekly events, such as barbecues and ice rink trips and cinema trips, and they were really affordable, and they were really a good buy. And another thing was the fact that Woodward also hosted its own events, such as they hired a boat for starters, and they did a little boat party. And a really cool thing was the fact that it opened up Tower Bridge. So the boat was so large that they had to open Tower Bridge itself, which isn't a common occurrence. So it was a really nice, again, once in a lifetime sort of opportunity to see something like that and be right underneath the Tower Bridge at once. So the final great thing I could find about Woodward was the fact that the shops are really close. So there's a Tesco and a Sainsbury's right outside, and if you're up for the walk, there's an Asda about 20 minutes away, and if you want to get the bus, then the bus obviously takes a lot less time, and it stops right outside Asda and right outside Woodward. So there's a way of getting there. And the reason having these big shops close by, the reason why it's important, I did explain this in a video which I'll link over there on my how to save money during shopping. And what I found was that during my stay at Byte in South Kensington, the shops being really far away was a big hassle, because I had to first of all walk there, which was already inconvenient, and then I was spending a lot of money by living in South Kensington itself, so I wanted to save as much money as possible. And the only way for me to shop was to go to these convenience stores which were next door, and they would charge very high and sort of insane prices, which I wasn't a fan of. So every Sunday or weekday I'd have to do a big walk and go really far away, which was really unnecessary. So probably going on a lot, but yeah, the fact that having a shop close by is highly convenient. There's even a Mackey's outside, so if you're into that fish or fillet or a bit of the mayo chicken on the side, then that's also there. So moving on to the cons. So it takes really long to get into campus, about 45 minutes on a good day, and on the day of filming this room tour, it took me about 1 hour to get to Woodward by car from Hammersmith, and I can only imagine how much longer it would take from South Kensington. But obviously you guys would get public transport, which tends to be a lot more quicker and reliable, but the fact of the matter is, it's a long time and it can get very annoying. If you're starting lectures at 9 AM, and that means that you have to leave the house by about 8 maybe, and so you have to wake up a lot earlier than that. Now it doesn't have to be a big deal, because in school I had to get up at 7 AM, and I knew loads of people that got up at 6 AM and some even earlier. But knowing the fact that there's some people that just wake up at 8:59 and go into lectures, it really hurts a little. So the other annoying thing was the fact that Woodward freshers had to leave so early. Eventually one person would leave, and obviously they couldn't go on their own because they're new and all that, so they'd get a friend to leave, and then another friend would get inspired, and then eventually the whole Woodward squad would just leave, and it would become really dead, especially if the people wanted to stay out late at night. It just wasn't possible because of the whole awkward bus and train times, because Woodward just happened to be so far away from all the events and where things were happening. It was just a lot more easier to get into South Kensington. More buses were running, it was just a more lit environment where there was something going on, so it wasn't so quiet and like secluded like Woodward was. Another thing you probably saw coming is the transport costs. Woodward isn't as cheap as it may appear, as you know, from the start, because if you're getting a travel card, you're going to be paying about £100 per week, and it's important that you get one, because if you're going to lectures, you'll need one really. And if you break it down weekly, it's roughly about £25 per week, and if you add that on to the price, it still works out cheaper than some of the South Kensington halls, but it's definitely worth knowing that you will, have to spend this extra cost in order to get to uni. Although the thing about having a travel card is the fact that you can go anywhere you want, obviously within the zones, and people that were living in South Kensington maybe wouldn't have to pay to get to uni, but if they wanted to go to any events, any kind of societies, clubs and all that stuff that was outside, they would have to pay on top of the hefty price that South Kensington halls tend to charge. So you might have heard Imperial talking about these panoramic kitchen views that you can sort of chill in with your friends and scout London, but it's not completely true, because only D block has this, so it's a bit of a hit or a miss in terms of what block you'd get. You could get something like the kitchen I'm going to show you guys in my kitchen tour, which doesn't have these skyline views. So it's important to note that you shouldn't be sold completely on Woodward just because of a nice pretty sort of kitchen, because chances are you probably won't get it. Another thing to take into account with these panoramic city views is the fact that if you can look outside, then other people can also look in, so it's something that you should take into account. So in terms of my opinion on whether you should live in Woodward or not, once again, this is an opinion, it's not really factual information, so things may or may not be correct in other people's eyes, but obviously you need to take that into account. Now in terms of the actual hall itself and the rooms and the kitchen, Woodward looks amazing, like a really cool place with a large community of freshers, and with these links you'll form, friends for life and all that. It looks really cool, and I think it's a really sick place. But the thing is, what matters most to me is obviously if South Kensington is affordable, is the location. South Kensington is somewhere you're most likely, like 99% most likely, you're not going to live there again. And to me, that place, being so close to lectures, you know, the Royal Albert Hall, you know, being able to hop into university whenever you want, clubs and societies being all there, and everything being really close in that sense, you know, it sells me more, if that makes any sense. And I would prefer to live that, you know, in that place rather than so far out from everywhere. I really wanted to be placed in South Kensington because these kind of reasons sold me more in South Kensington, and that's why I applied tactically, so that I would be placed in South Ken. What's important to note is the fact that if you mention Woodward as one of your 5 choices, chances are you're very, very, very likely that you're going to be placed in Woodward. So if Woodward is like a kind of, you don't really want to stay there, don't put it as one of your options. And the reason this is because the capacity of Woodward is so high that it's just simple maths really. If a person puts it, they're more likely going to throw you in there. Although this year is a bit different, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic, and the prices of South Kensington are spiked very, very high. And so if I was applying this year, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure that I would have gone for South Ken because it's simply out of my price range. So in this year specifically, maybe I would have applied to Woodward. But in terms of general, you know, if you can afford it, 100% in my eyes, you want to go to South Ken really. Now don't get me wrong, Woodward is an amazing place, and all the people that have lived there always tell me that if they had another choice, they would still go back and live in Woodward. So the experience they had was amazing. And speaking of which, I'm going to bring up my complete Imperial Halls guide video. In that, there's some juicy experiences which go over some of the halls which you definitely don't want to apply to. So make sure you check that out if you want more information on the other halls. Okay, so the moment you guys have all been waiting for, here's the room and kitchen tour. It may or may not be cringy, but it was a lot of fun for me and my friend to film. And due to our extensive links that we have, we were able to get this for you guys. So hope you guys do enjoy it. Oh hey, welcome to my crib. Today is going to be a little tour about Woodward. This is one of the B blocks, and it's quite a nice little spacious room, as you can see. Comes with a nice little bed, chair, table, and 3 little drawers. Fairly spacious with a nice little lighter if you're into lighting stuff up. Carphone warehouse outside with some feisty deals at Papa John's. Love me some of that. And over here, there's some compartments, so your storage. There's a fan. Beer comes with the apartment. Alright, if you look over here, we've got a nice little cupboard. Really spacious. Fits all your goods. And now onto the favourite part, my bathroom. Look inside. Loads of mirrors with different angles if you're into looking at yourself. Okay. And if you follow me into the shower, there you go. Hey bro, like, I mean literally bro, like, it's a bit close man. Yo. Yo, what are you doing? Jesus man.
Let's go back in the shower.
No bro, I think we're done with the room tour man.
Nah, come on.
No, we're... Yo bro, can I come out? I need to do my kitchen tour.
Alright then, I'll let you out.
Bro, it's been a day. Jesus. Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen tour. Let me just shut this. So, as you can see, this is a pretty amazing kitchen. As compared to the one I showed you guys earlier on in Bite. Bite was a bit mediocre. But look at this, 1 fridge, 2 fridge, 3 fridge, 4 fridge, 4 fridges. And you got 2 dual flipping cookers. Loads of storage and a nice skyline view. Once again of Papa John's and Carphone Warehouse. Call 020 8992 2345 for a feisty deal. Follow me over here to the seating area. Hurry up. Cheers. Haven't got all day. Busy man. There's a nice flat screen TV that I was talking about in my other video, link in the description. And outside we get some of the nice little graveyard view, if you're into that, and a bit of scenery. Oh, beautiful.
15 minutes later.
One final little thing, come follow me. Will you check this out?
Oh whoa, that looks pretty cool actually.
Look over there. Look over there. Behind you. Where is it? Tomorrow's medic. More like yesterday's medic. Thankfully, my weird camera guy went. But what we missed was a little compartment here with loads of space where you can fit, it can fit people. We've tried and tested that.
Flashback.
Nah, don't violate. Oi, don't violate like that.
Let me tell you that as a fact. But yeah, I'm just gonna go to the toilet.
Bro, I'm waiting for you.
Bro, I thought you left, man.
No, I'm still waiting.
No shower, bro. No shower. And so that brings the video to a close. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you have, make sure you drop a like and comment down below what your favorite part of the video is, or any other questions that you have that I can answer. And with that said, I hope you guys have a good day. I've been Devify, and I'm out.